going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of We Need to Talk. This is episode 313, episode 313. Shout out to everybody who has been a consistent part of this broadcast, supporting the process, and being open to the strategies, the information, enlightening oneself. Growing, changing, recognizing, having that personal accountability and being able to make actual changes in your life is a choice. So by virtue of, you guys being here, it's something that's very important and is not lost on me. So thank you for making those choices when it comes to, paying attention and getting the information. Shout out to my replay gang, of course, everybody who has been tuning in the late hours, overnight, for my people who are, on the front lines, especially in the medical and healthcare industry and things like that. Salute to all of you who still take the time out to check out the broadcast. Shout out to my Evolve members as well, members of my platform. It's much appreciated for you guys to again take the additional step when it comes to being able to heal yourself and to want and to seek out the knowledge, because that's what I'm here for, to be able to provide the guidance, the healing, the strategies, right? The customized and personalized approach. So if that's something that you are interested in, definitely click the link in my bio. You'll be able to see, the Evolve membership options there. So let me see who's in the Steel Kai, what's up? Brandon, what's up? Trina, what's up? Tay, what's going on? Nancy, what's up? Nashis 99, what's going on? Dawn, Erica, what's up with y'all? Yeah. What's going on? Alright, I just had to click that do not disturb so we don't have any undue, unwarranted calls happening right now. We not here for that. We ain't here for that. So, first of all, how's everybody doing? Y'all good? Latasha, what's up? What's going on? Is everybody all right, man? Is everybody in a good space right now? Are y'all good? Hopefully y'all are good, man. Had some good conversations today, and they provoked thought. I am a sponge, so I like to take in my day and see what resonates in a form that I can speak from. All right, everybody good. Everybody good. Okay. So tonight's topic is defying the odds, right? Defying the odds. A lot of times, in this dating process, we can have a view based on shortage, a view based on lack of options, and a view of scarcity, limitations, and this type of thing. And I wanted to speak to that. Because I think it's something that's pretty common. It's something that is experienced probably by all of us in different arenas of life. If you really look at just how in a capitalistic society there has to be a reliance on a minimal amount. There has to be a super upper class, super rich, and everybody, and damn near a poor, everybody else, the majority has to be underneath. And there has to be an impoverished class or in the pyramid, there has to be an impoverished class of people in order for the process to work, in order for the system to work. So everybody, is scrambling for limited resources, right? Limited jobs, limitations, and even just when you think about retail, limited offer, like limited supply is limited, limited stock. Think about just things like, diamonds and gold and limits and so we grow up into a scarcity mindset a lot of times. And it at least it lies dormant when it comes to maybe other aspects of life, but it's there. It's there. You've seen it, you've encountered it, you've heard about it, you've been marketed at your entire life. Even as a kid, commercials and marketing and sales and toys and things like that. So you know what it's like. I remember growing up going to my mom taking me to places with, liquidation sale. Somebody did, you ever had those commercials where they saying we going out of business sale, everything must go, but then they be going out of business for like 2 years. And you like, I thought this was it. We done ran in. We took a lot of y'all stuff from you, but y'all still in business, huh? Y'all still getting stock in after we done cleaned y'all out. Y'all still here? Damn. So, lying ass. But that's what I'm saying when it comes down to it. when it comes down to it, it goes down. It happens. It's put in your face in that way, in order to motivate you to make moves out of fear. And again, what do I always boil things down to? Fear. We do our most compulsive and our worst decisions based on fear, but that's what it's used for. That's why so much propaganda is built around it. You can almost control somebody if you engage and interact with their fear mechanism. That's why I say it even happens in the dating world. When you have a fear of loneliness, that can be used against you. When that's sniffed out by somebody you're dating, that means they feel that they have the green light to kind of do whatever they want to do, because you with them, they hold within them the hope of curing your loneliness for you, and they know how important that is, so they can pretty much control you. That's why sometimes we end up in these situations. What you doing in there? But again, when somebody can interact and engage with your fear mechanism easily, you become controllable, right? So, if somebody popped up and said right now, it's a food shortage, it's the last week you can go to Whole Foods, grocery stores, and all of that, they would have to declare a state of emergency, you know what I'm saying? So, in dating, a lot of times we become new mathematicians. The narrative becomes there's not enough, or there's only a little bit. It's a small percentage of what I want or what I'm looking for, or because of our past experiences. Latasia, what's up? Because of our past experiences, only dating people with maybe one or two of the qualities that we look for, and then getting into the dating game now and maybe encountering people with one and two of those qualities, we begin to become mathematicians, and we start to count it's our own sample size, right? We start to count, okay, that's 5 people. All right, so communication, none of them got that. So that must mean that in a county-wide, statewide, nationwide view, there must be like 3 people globally, I deduce that there must be like 3 to 7 people globally who have everything that I'm looking for, right? We become mathematicians, and you know what I'm saying? We become experts in the odds. Now, for you odds experts in here, for you mathematicians, you beautiful minds in here, calculate this for me. I have a 4-year-old, 5-year-old daughter in it, right? Now, no matter what day it is, every time she puts her shoes on, they're on the wrong feet. Every time. Now, me being Nigel, what's up? Me being somebody who is, law of averages, and they tell you in sales, law of averages, right? You get this many no's, you're guaranteed a yes. Or you knock on this many doors, somebody has to say yes, right? Cool. So eventually, and I knew, I used to do door-to-door sales. I knew if I did a whole neighborhood, somebody's gonna say yes to this Fios Verizon package that I'm trying to shift y'all cable situation. Somebody gonna rock with me, right? And I did. I got sales, even though it's very, the odds are very small for a door-to-door salesman to get anything, because it doesn't make any sense. Like, people are chilling in the house. I think one of them had a gun put on, so dogs and all that. So you don't want them kind of problems. But to actually convert somebody, you got to be able to do that. To have, convert somebody's cable off the strength of an unannounced visit. So even that worked out for me. What doesn't make any sense is no matter what day it is, what the climate is, what music is playing, how short of a window she has to get ready, or how long of a window she has to get ready. While she's talking when she's doing it, if she's not talking, if it's a Sunday, it's a Monday, no matter what happens, when I say put your shoes on, she come back in the room, they cue dogs. Them Jones is out. You know what I'm saying? They out here. Them Jones. You look. She walk in. Yeah, and both feet pointed directly due everywhere. Not due south, north. Not together. Elsewhere. Them shoes is out here. And for the life of me, because why is it that there's not one off time where it's just like, damn, you got it. Bam. There's never, it's never that. It's always that. And then, look, it's got to be like this. Okay. So, and not to say she's not capable at all. She's very, but it's just not prioritized, I guess, at this point. And I probably do the same. We all probably do the same thing. But so for you odds experts out there, why can't I get one correct shoe day out of 1,000,000 days in the history? But we'll leave that for another point. But I say that to say, tonight we are defying the odds. First thing I want to say in relation to, because I'm not, don't get this wrong, right? I'm not, right, it'll probably happen tomorrow. But, let me get this out, get this through before I move forward. This is not attacking you. This is attacking the scarcity mindset that enjoys creeping up within you, provoking anxiety, right? If you're possessed, I can speak to the demon without speaking to you. I hope we're clear on that, because fear can be a very annoying entity. It can be very persistent, and it can seem very logical. But the difference is, we often say, well, that's reality. That's reality. There's multiple realities when it comes to, there's multiple truths, right? I could literally, if I wanted to prove something to you by virtue of numbers and stuff like that, or to influence you of anything, I could literally make a documentary about anything and present that to you. If I wanted to say poodles, there's a problem where there's a high percentage of poodles biting mailmen somewhere. I could show you enough of them for that to be a reality. But to somebody else, the reality is different. So we don't have the world, we don't have information on the entire world. We don't have information on everybody in our radius. We don't have access to these specific Grand Eagle, what's up? Dolores, what's up? We don't have access to all of the information the way that we act like we do a lot of times. Now let's start here. So let's say when we're talking about odds and stuff like that, right? Let's say that, okay, you did some research, you talked to some people in your area, and you're like, yeah, the percentage, the pickings is slim, the amount of good people in this area, or good men in this area, or whatever, is real low. There's real small amount to choose from, right? My first question would be, how many do you need? You only need one person for you. You don't need 30, 50, hundreds of options. Do you? Like, I thought we were looking for the one. So if that is essentially the case, we definitely don't need many options. We require our option. TV Diva, what's up? So in essence, we need to take that options and pickings and groupings and how many in this area and that area. We need to take that out of the game. We need to go ahead and scrap that, because we're not building a tribe. If it was different, right? If it wasn't like, okay, I need a soulmate, I'm looking for the one. If it was different, it was like, I'm looking for a tribe. I'm going to build a nation. I need a certain type of person, certain type of people to build this nation or this team. Then yeah, if you got slim pickings, get out of there. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna work out. But you don't need anything except for what's yours. There doesn't have to be a lot of it. Now, jobs, maybe if you move somewhere and the unemployment rate's really high or something like that, there's not a lot of jobs, and you have to battle for a shot at a job. You need options because you have to go through options, but you're not gonna date 50 people. And because it's my thing, my mentality is, when the one becomes apparent, they're there. It's not a graduation thing where I have to date at I gotta date in this grade, this level, this person, that don't work out. I date somebody else, I get more qualities, but it don't work out. I date somebody else, I'm getting closer and closer to all of the things I asked for by virtue of having to date multiple people and of different types to try to accumulate, almost like Space Jam. You taking each one's powers every level. You don't have to do all of that. Why do you think you got to do that? Like you don't have to. Put it to you like this. Again, the limited mindset. Picture yourself in it at the end of the race, when you have the person, when you have the connection, when you're traveling together, you're growing together, you're learning together. Go to that part. The process part, that's God's act. That's God's action. The divine interactions that weave into place. That you ain't got nothing to do with that part. So because I don't have a date now, that means that I'm far from where the one is. I'm far from meeting the one, because in some of our minds, we gotta date a lot of people to get to them. Like that's almost like video game mentality, where we gotta beat a certain level, a certain amount of levels to get to Bowser or some shit. And then we go, okay, we gonna battle him. We battle him, that's over, and we've won the game, and Mario's got the princess, so it's a lock at that point. But we had to fight to get there. We had to fight to get there. You don't have to fight to get there. And we need to extract this from our mindset. This whole battle for extra ground, or to battle our way closer to the right person mentality. How you know it's gonna look like that? Why does it have to? Why you gotta earn it in that way? I think we've grown to feel over time that because we've endured pain, that somehow it's a prerequisite to love, and it is not. Pain is not a prerequisite to finding pure love from another person. So we have to extract from our minds that this whole journey has to be an uphill battle with avalanches, mudslides, monsoons, storms, and then when we get to the top of the mountain. Because you got to think about this too. A lot of you also say that you are tired of struggling, that you are tired of battling, especially with other humans. If you think about some of the relationships that you may have been in, and this goes to another conversation I was having, some of the conversation or some of the connections that you have had in your life were battles because the partner you chose had zero accountability whatsoever. So you have been in battles. That doesn't equate to love, that equates to that experience, and you're supposed to learn from that experience. What's up, Tips? Because the lack of accountability on one or both sides will be a consistent battle. And it can look like you battling for love, but in essence, it's questionable how much love was really in there in the first place. Because one who truly loves you will not allow you to sit there and go crazy because they continuously deny their culpability, so to speak, in a situation that you know they were dead wrong in, or in all situations that they were dead wrong in. Love isn't love, right? And again, we really have to, blessing you, what's up? We really have to get it out of our minds that's a package deal. That the fighting for the marriage mentality, the fighting for love mentality is part of the package, so that we in essence have to earn it. But look, in those experiences with those people without any accountability, those manipulators, gaslighters, narcissists, whatever, did you ever win the game? You fought. You fought your own reality. You fought them. You verbally, I hope, back and forth, arguing. And if the fight for love mentality is true, did you get it? You fought? Did you win? Is it possible to win in a situation like that? So we have to really understand that this thing is only a fight if we want it to be. If we project it into existence, it will look just like that, and you will be fighting every step of the way. You will attract battle opponents. If you live in a brace for impact mentality, you, in essence, don't exist without an opponent. Because there's no personal value. If you value how resilient you are and prioritize how resilient you are, and I'm telling you this from experience, if you over prioritize your resilience, you will feel valueless without an opponent or an opponent or somebody who will cause you to have to engage your resilience. That's where your value is. You said it. I'm resilient, I'm strong. Okay. And not that these are bad traits, but when they are over prioritized and way too active and dominant, you will, without a doubt, attract opponents to cause you to have something to be resilient about. Or else you'll feel valueless. You've placed you've placed too much value on traits that inevitably will continue your cycle. This is deep stuff. Like, this is deep stuff, and I want this to resonate. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to be careful where we place our value and what we prioritize as far as our identity, as far as our self-concept and self-image, right? What do we push to the forefront? Is it how hard we can work? How much we can fight for a relationship? Or is it to feel our best and function at our best and be the most balanced? What's the race? How many stories you can have, how many war stories that you can have to tell people about, or how balanced you can be? What are you fighting for? What's the goal? Because we all know people like this. I've encountered people who have maybe been through, so many different situations. They've almost taken that as their badge of honor. So now, being a victim you have now said, instead of trying to transcend the state of victim, some people take the state of victim and utilize that for their self-esteem. So everywhere they go, story, I went through this, I went through that, I fought for this marriage, I fought through this, so I endured this. And continuing the trend almost unconsciously, so that when it doesn't work out, here's some more that I can tell people about. Here's more people can hear this. And don't get it confused. Your testimony and story is something that is very powerful. But the next step is to transcend the conditions. You cannot stay in a victim mentality forever and expect to survive it. You do not want to take that as your badge of honor or your family crest or what you put on, what you wear on your chest everywhere you go. Because again, words are very powerful. What remains dominant continues momentum. So if people look at you as the person who's always talking about their war stories and stuff, love story, whatever, but never making any changes. So like you're with the same type of dude that you was with the year before, and then the year before, and then the year before, but you're seeking sympathy, which means that you're not really looking for empowerment. You're not looking for growth. You're looking for people to come in and give you accolades, survival accolades, right? And this is something that I can't really stand to see anymore. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it, because it's really a self-denial of your power and what you're capable of. It's you projecting externally that you're just a victim. The world is just throwing all of these strange people at you, and you have no control over the circumstances whatsoever. So now you're looking to try to fill your self-esteem with all of what you've been through, and keep that as a continuum or as a cyclical sort of way of approaching life. And this is an empowerment broadcast, so I don't stop at the victim part. I'm when I hear you all talk about your personal stories, I'm looking for ways to, one, congratulate every element or congratulate you and give you accolades for overcoming, for moving forward, for acknowledging everything that you were able to see, for gaining new character traits and finding new power within yourself, making decisions to leave certain relationships, etc. And okay, now as we leave that, where are we going? It's my effort to show the capability along the way. You showed capability going through that in this way, in that way, and then so there's no limit to the healing that you can cultivate within you as you move forward. I can't. It's just not in my nature. I love y'all enough to not leave you there. That's what this is about. So it really hurts when I see that. You know what I'm saying? And you can't push anybody. Everybody has their level. Everybody has their space. Wherever they are functioning at the time, and I do have a respect for that. I just warn against getting caught in that cyclical fashion, because there is a way out, and you've shown great capability along the way. And in addition to that, speaking of defying odds, many of you have defied and continue to defy odds daily. Jocelyn, what's up? You continue to defy odds on a daily basis with what you handle on every day. If you have children, whatever work type of situation you have, your trajectory in education, your trajectory when it comes to career-wise, certain milestones or turning points, maybe some trauma, some tragedy that you have circumvented, that you have grown through, that you have overcome, that you have fought your way to leave. As far as certain emotional states, you keep going, you keep after it. You're still goal-oriented, even despite a lot of things going on around you that we've never seen before. Your ability to adjust and adapt to circumstances that have been happening in your personal life, in your family life, etc. And you're still on here, IG Live, open to the ability to change, to grow, to keep going forward, to seek better for yourself, because that you're capable of so much more, and that there's more to life than maybe what you've been experiencing, and you're open to that. That's defying odds anyway. You know how many people are out here who aren't at this stage? And let's just talk accountability, right? How many people you know still at that stage to where they can't even acknowledge that they had any part in the demise or the separation of all of their past relationships, or anything that's gone wrong in the past, you know, with any interconnections that they had or any choices that they made. There's still people around, many people, who justify every action, and they've magically made no mistakes. Now that's a stage that, again, I have respect for stages, but I can't be around that too long. That ain't this. This we're on episode 313. The lack of accountability stage. Y'all might have to go. You might have to go to the other building for that. That's a whole different school than this. So I can't work with that. Some people, you know, humbly, I respect people who say I'm good at what I do. I can't do nothing with that. Convincing somebody who has committed to no accountability to be accountable, I ain't got none of that. And I don't know what school teaches people how to affect change in people like that. I'm cool on that. Now watch this. If I'm cool on that, some of y'all have dated these people for half decade. Y'all the real MVP. Y'all, look. 5, 6, 7, 8. You are the queens of everything. I don't have none of that. I don't have that. I can't go 5 with nobody. Now, okay, 5 years, I can't go 5 minutes with nobody with no accountability. That's my word. And don't get me wrong, I understand why you stayed in that situation. I get it, but it's undeniable that was the fight. That was the fight for your life, wasn't it? That was the fight. The fight of the century. Mike Tyson versus somebody. That's a super fight. And I'm glad to see that all of you survived that, because the brick wall that some people put up when it comes down to just people with no accountability, and you know the spin move that they got, right? And I was just talking to somebody too. I ain't gonna put your name out here, but there's certain subjects that, you know, there's certain subjects that I gotta tell you, like, when it comes to deal breakers and stuff like that, you ain't about to be doing that. You ain't about to be doing that. And again, like I told y'all before, I've been to the resolution table, apologizing, ready to go, right? I'm 15% of the real issue, but I'm apologizing. I'm first out there. Boom. You know, my half or my piece, I apologize. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to work on this moving forward. And so I would do this. I'll be like, yeah, you know, I can see how in that situation where I was wrong at, I understand that, you know, in this particular point, I could have said this differently. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. And going forward as a resolution, so that we don't come here again, I see, you know, work on communication when it comes to this, that, and the third, right? And then I stop, I pause. And then I be like this. She'll go. You ain't going. Oh no, I already went. It's on you. It's on you. Hold up, maybe. Ding on. Now it's just us two playing, so it ain't nobody. I mean, you ain't even gonna. Okay. All right. Now, for those of you who have been in these shoes right here, I'm gonna walk you through what happens next. So now, for me, like I was telling, for me, this is the point where I would look all around the room because I want to know, okay, is this one of them reality shows where they pop out and be like, we just joking, you know what I'm saying? Ashton Kutcher is like, you know what I mean? We was just playing. She really sorry though, you know. The camera crew is out there. It's a show called, No Accountability, but it's good, right? It's $1,000 or whatever. Be lit. No camera crew came out, so I'm looking around for them though. I'm like, somebody got to come out and let me know that this is fake, that this is, or at least an eyewitness to the fact that like I just did all this and then nothing. I did all this and then nobody. Okay. Y'all ain't no hidden cameras or nothing, ain't no, damn. So now, when you try to push people with this accountability issue, you try to push, you like, hey, remember, we was both there, like, what's up? The more you push, the more they resist, the more they stand on the lack of accountability, the more they spin, the more they try to draw from you. So now you might be getting a little louder. Tone, you got why you doing that? You starting an argument, you're pushing too hard. You're doing this, you're doing that. So and then the twisting of reality, right? The exaggerated false eyewitness account. Like just everything that they're saying had nothing to do with what was actually going on. So now you have a choice to make, right? You got a fork in the road. You could either keep pushing it because it becomes interesting at a certain point. And I gotta be honest, I'm flashbacking as I'm talking. There's a certain point where you really look at the person like you really can't say that you sorry though. Like you really can't say that. Word? That's your kryptonite? Like I got you like that? Because it becomes a weakness. And for me at times, I would try to just see what you gonna say? Like if I overcome enough of them blockages, is there a way to get in there or not? And then, but then you have the choice to you do that, or you could say, you know what? All right. And they couldn't be happier. The look on the person's face when you throw in the towel like that, they couldn't be happier. And what's worse, they start to act like everything is normal. They go right back to like nothing happened. And that, you already mad that you just took an L right there, and you was in the fight of your life again. You might even be sweating. Because it's mental anguish. Like, I'm just being, it's like pre-calculus, Rubik's Cubes, all that in the same room. It's like, I can't really do this right now. So you're mentally exhausted. You might be sweating. One of the beads come down here. Like, that was just a real UFC in my head type of thing. And now you get to see them living their best life. And that eats you up more because you wasn't asking for that much. And now you have to live with the energy from that exchange. So whatever you was arguing about, you have no resolution, which means you're likely going to come here again because there's no resolution. The negotiations came to a screeching halt. You got no apology. You got no acknowledgement. You got no accountability. and you don't even have the share in the negative emotion. You can't even share that, because sometimes even that could come back around. If y'all sit, you sit in something long enough, you like, you know what, baby, like, let's, you can't even do that because this person is lit now. As soon as you let off the gas, they about to have a party. So you're not even on the same wavelength. And then how long do you walk around with it? Because you might try to bury it, suppress it, go to sleep, wake up, and you're still in your mind. If you bring that up, do you know whose fault that's going to be? Wild guess. If you bring that same thing up, even though you have a valid right to, because it's never been resolved. The thing that we were fighting over has not been resolved because you stopped the negotiations. So if it's brought up again, it's not because you're nagging or you're extra or you're trying to start another argument. It's because nothing happened last time. If I go to the damn mechanic and I hear a clinking noise under the hood and I leave it there overnight, you call me and say it's ready, I pick it up and I get home, I hear that same noise, I'm back at the mechanic. Yeah, I'm back. Again. Can you fix this, please? It's still banging up under the hood. There's something in there. Help me. Well, you just came here. Why you keep coming? Why I keep coming? Look, the return will stop when the noise stops. Help me. That's all I'm saying. So in that respect, you could understand why this is starting again. But if you do that, the risk is very high. They're going to spin it on you, and that's even more frustrating. So you have to choose between being right and forcing right down somebody's throat, or battling for your life with somebody who's been skilled and gained mastery at deflecting all of their life. Or you just have to eat whatever it is and live in that messed up energy until it dissipates. The problem is it doesn't dissipate. Just like a garbage disposal that's backed up, it just keeps backing up. For the person who has to live with somebody with no accountability, those things stack up. Those things stack up over time. And then you hit a point where there's nowhere else for it to go. It's all the way up here. And you like, look, I'm out. Like, I can't even do this no more. And that's why I say shout out to all of you who have left situations like that, because it's immensely frustrating. And it's exhausting, to say the least, you know what I'm saying? So I'll end the rant. I'll end the rant with this. When it comes to when you get into that zone of just scarcity, odds, things like that, you gotta know, or at least acknowledge the fact that if you exist, they exist. If you exist, they exist. A lot of times, we think what we are looking for is a magical thing. We have all of these qualities. We're on the health journey. We're growing. We're healing. Nobody else is doing that. Nobody. Nah. Just because it's not promoted on social media or promoted on different outlets, or it's not necessarily talked about, or some of your homegirls don't know anybody, like that doesn't mean anything. And we have to extract ourselves from trying to track from trying to track the odds of certain things occurring, because we have to acknowledge the fact that let's just think from a faith standpoint. Let's say, why would God create like one person but not their complement, right? That sounds like a cruel thing to do. And then people get into where there's only this many men in the world, this many women. Man, look, you only need one. And what's yours is yours. And I would challenge you to view the previous years of your life when you manifested things that were against the odds, when you were able to accomplish things that were against the odds, when you were able to receive things that were against the odds, if you were able to survive things that were against the odds of you surviving. So how can we look at that, those miracles, and then doubt the soulmate finding their way to you when the timing is perfect? That's a contradiction, right? And I'm not speaking to y'all, I'm speaking to the scarcity mindset behind those eyes, because it does creep out. And this live is gonna serve as your go back, your replay, when you need to, because it's Tiana, what's up? It's something that makes sense, but it has to be talked to direct. And it's got to be extinguished if you hope to acquire what you ask for. Because if we overcalculate and then deny ourselves the probability of gaining it, we've shut down the entire thing. The love journey's over. Then we just might as well just talk about just self-care and just reaching the personal happiness for our own sake, and just expect to be single the rest of our lives. If we shut down all hope by virtue of our personal calculations, it's over. And I know I'm not willing to do that, so I hope you guys would consider being unwilling to do so as well. So before I go, first thing, definitely check the link in my bio if you need any assistance, any coaching, access to my virtual uploads, virtual lectures, etc. Definitely click the Evolve membership. Shout out to my Evolve members on here. Second, I need y'all to, and I'm telling you the homework beforehand. I'm not gonna spring it on y'all. So make sure y'all watch the Malcolm and Marie, right? Watch it if you haven't already on Netflix. I'm gonna do my analysis tomorrow, so I'm gonna be watching it tomorrow. I was trying to do it today, but I couldn't do it today. So I'm gonna watch that, and then we're gonna do the analysis tomorrow. We're gonna go deep. So definitely make sure you guys check it out. Shoot me a DM, any questions, anything you guys got going on, any support you need, and y'all have a great night.